one way. Okay, we're good. Nice. Yeah, further north, Bolzano. Oh, you're the German part of Südtirol. Oh, gotcha. For anyone that it's not familiar, what we're talking about here in the chat, I is from north part of Italy, but there's a part of Italy that actually doesn't speak Italian and they speak German, and it's or even they speak their own language, your own dialect, don't you? Yeah, but with Italian passport. Good afternoon, evening, morning. Hope you're all good. I wanted to run this this stream because we missed one due to Christmas and whatnot. So yeah, Rick, it's funny. Italy, as people know it, was only really born less than 100 years ago. So prior to that, it was just a whole bunch of communes and communalities, I should say. All independent, but anyway, we're not here for history, are we? I wanted to run this makeup call. Just we missed one during Christmas, of course, but you know, we've done just before Christmas a really cool session on Forex, and I wanted to maybe just circle back on that one. And good news, I've actually got the recording ready for that one too, so we can kill two birds in one stone in the next couple of days, and I released that one. But also, I do encourage, please, everyone in the chat today to ask any questions. If you have any any chart that you want me to cover, today's the day to do it. We can go over any pair. We're taking requests, so I've got obviously my my little handy dandy watch list that I want to share, but also open to discuss anything really, from Forex to crypto to stocks, which I also trade. So please do let me know if there's anything in particular that you want covered, and we'll cover it. We'll cover it here. But let's start straight off the bat with the dollar index, so DXY, just to have a bit of a look at where we are. And if you have been tuning into these chats, you know that this is usually where we start. We start from the dollar index because most commodities in the world, really, not just anyway, so they do tend to respect what the dollar does, and it's important for us to have an understanding of what the dollar is, given the fact that the crypto market is at a much more mature market. So it's going to start have some more similarities with I guess commodities like gold or S&P 500 and things like that. So let's start with that. So this level of the dollar, we've been talking about it for weeks now, if not months, to be honest. This beautiful candle right here, which is a monthly candle, and as you can see, you know, we had this really big line of liquidity down here, which back then people were like, oh, we're not going to go past the 105, and we're like, yep, we are definitely going to go past that. Probably we're going to go into the 110, and I think we're still coming to the 110 area, so somewhere in here, we're very close. What that means, of course, that if the dollar goes up, commodities tend to go down, and vice versa. When the dollar starts to reverse, usually commodities like gold, crypto, futures of other sorts, they usually tend to go up. So it's an inverted correlation that we have there. With that in mind, obviously we're looking at macro time frame right there. That was a monthly, but we can start to look. So I like to have my areas always marked up just for ease reach, and you can see starting to slow down a little bit today anyway. So we're doing this kind of double tops. So I am expecting some sort of reversal, just potentially somewhere, or I should say anywhere, into this vicinity here. So we're starting to slow down. Momentum is there, is slowing down too. So there's not as much volume as there is. You can see a big decline in volume there. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on the dollar, but just wanted to start with that. How's Bitcoin performing today? So I'm going to be jumping a little bit back and forth. Like I said, today we run through everything from Forex to Bitcoin to crypto to stock. So we have a dollar that is potentially starting to reverse. So we can expect the Bitcoin and crypto market total to start to go up. However, we do have a much more mature market now, so this correlation is not necessarily always true. But I still think that this correlation does somewhat, I guess, reflect what the dollar is doing. So if we're expecting the dollar to go to 110, which is somewhere like right now it's here, so still got a little bit up to go, we can also expect the I guess Bitcoin and the crypto market to go down a little bit further, which would bring us into and this is I guess a bit of an extreme level now that we're talking about here, and I'll explain this in a second, but the CME gap potentially. I do think this this gap, which you can see onto the Chicago Market Exchange, is going to get filled eventually. So there's many levels in between from here to here, so there's a lot of other levels that need to be taken out from here, from where we are currently to there, but this is still very much a target for me personally. I do see some sort of, you know, chop, and a quick, and then an explosion back up, some sort of very quick recovery, or V-shape, how they call it, how we call it in trading. So that's kind of what I'm expecting for Bitcoin. But what is immediately you can see this candle right here. I hope you can see now that we've been doing these streams for quite a while. We know what we look for. These are the candles that personally I love to trade off, and I'll explain that in a second why, if you haven't tuned in before, so that we can all have some sort of good understanding of why these candles are so nice to trade off. So first of all, we have liquidity being formed, and liquidity, if you're new, right, like I always cover this, it's nothing else but, you know, equal highs, and that's kind of what liquidity is, equal highs or equal lows. So we've got this big area of liquidity down here, which we should definitely keep an eye on. But what we have here, we also had this equal highs right here, and you can see them. So it's here and here, right? Everyone can see them in the chat. So from that, if we take this area here, this one candle alone, which was last week or start of the week on the 6th Australian time, this one candle just swept liquidity, so effectively wicking out everyone, and then a big explosive move. You can see how big this move was. So it was one candle up and three candles down, with this is called an engulfing candle. So this candle is actually bigger than that one. It completely engulfed it. This is a candle that I want to trade off again, but for a short. So I have my eyes here for some sort of temporary relief currently. But obviously we can see today, with 13 hours to go, we are printing a bullish candle. I want to see some sort of reversal in the next few days, probably into the weekend, and then I'll have a stab at a short. There is a chance that we might go higher here, and we might end up doing what's called a harmonic pattern, which is basically from here to here to here to here. We could potentially get up past this high and go somewhere in this vicinity, right, in this area here for a short. So that's also a possibility. So personally, I'll give it a stab at a short from this level here, and then I'll have another stab potentially from here. So that's how I'm personally gonna play, I guess, this weekend and this week coming. But definitely keep a big eye on this candle, which, if we go down into the 4 hour, you can see there's a fair bit of I guess imbalances left behind, money to be filled, and you can see here on the 4 hour this nice candle. This is beautiful. And if you do trade smart money, or if you don't, we can have a look at it together. But here basically this is called an imbalance. So you can see, if I make it a little bit bigger, what an imbalance is, it's basically just a gap, just a hole, right? Like you can see here, you have this one candle that does this little wick, then you have one big candle that goes down, and there's no wick from this candle that fills all this big void, and that void is called an imbalance. So market tends to want to fill imbalances just purely for I guess filling orders, and also to be an efficient market, I guess. So we're gonna keep an eye on this area here, because this is potentially the area. So between, and you have the scoop here on live, between 100 and, or call it 100,500 for ease, and 98.3. So this is the level where I'll be looking at shorting BTC. So something like this, potentially double entry. We'll take a little stab from here. We'll put the first stop loss just above this this equal highs, which we can see right here. So that's equal high there, equal high there. So we'll put it just above those. So somewhere like here potentially, and then what we'll do, we'll just do a nice short 1 to 3 usually is my go-to, which will take us perfectly into this point of interest, which I had marked up previously down here, which is basically close to the CME gap but not quite. And then if we want to do a double entry, which I personally do like to do in this case, so I will do another second entry from this area here. So that is 100,543. So and that will be a much better risk to reward. So if you want to take another stab of a short, I'll call this out anyway, but you can see them here, so you can start setting up alarms a little bit earlier than me just calling it in case you close it. This is kind of the short setup that I like for Bitcoin to play potentially. So any questions so far, team? And also, can you hear me fine? Because I've got music in the background, so I just want to make sure that everyone is a-okay. All good, perfect. Let's go over the setup that we took today, and I hope you guys did, and maybe some of you were still asleep, but we did call a long for Ethereum. And mind you, we are in this Solana short that has been printing, as you can see. We had entry 1 and entry 2 both hit. We took take profit 1, take profit 2, and take profit 3. So we absolutely printed in this short. Personally, I have my stop loss on TP2, but so we have a Solana short that has been printing. So as an edge, but also to reflect market conditions, I took an ETH long, and the reason is, if we look, this is on a daily. So if we look here, obviously we've reached quite an important level, right? We're at the 50%. We didn't quite tap the 618 on fib level, but we did reach this really big order block. So this is an area where buyers face some resistance from seller. Buyer tried, seller tried again, and then eventually buyers prevailed, and then they went up. So when you see this kind of I guess tug of war between buyers and sellers, these are areas that the market likes to come back to, right? So we should always mark them up, and sure enough, this is where we are now. And with that in mind, what we can do, we can start to see, okay, so the market really does like to test this area again. This was a big wick. Okay, with that big wick, straight away I can see, if I scale down to the 4 hour, this candle was really grabbed my attention, because you can see market was kind of printing this low, and then boom, big impulse move down. But then if you look at the shape of the market, which is how I tend to look I'm not necessarily an indicator trader, I look at shape and the smart money concept. So when you see a candle or an impulse this big, and immediately 2 consecutive candles absolutely eating up those shorts, that tells me that that was obviously an imbalanced market, right? And the prevailing force here was obviously on the upside, but somebody or someone, smart money potentially, dropped this market to liquidate and grab money off us. So scaling it down even further, this is how I took the trade. So I just want to give you guys an insight, and girls, so that you can all go and apply all this. So we started off from the daily, we scaled down into 4 hour, and then eventually on the 1 hour, you can see this is the candle that took my interest, this one right here. So we have one last candle before a big move on the opposite direction, and you probably can see now there was an imbalance right there left behind. So that candle of interest, I basically just highlighted it and just carried it over and carried it across all the way, and look how clean that entry was. I just wasn't on the chart at the time, but this is how clean that entry could have been. We missed a few pips, but not too many, so it could have been there, which is insane. But this is basically just how easy it is to scale from a larger time frame down to an easy one. And obviously we're nice and in profit on this trade. Currently is going up very nicely with minimal drawdown, which is sensational. as soon as it hits my TP1, which is 3405, I'll move my stop loss into break even, and then I'll just let it right up to TP2 and potentially TP3. We'll see if we get there. But this is kind of my mentality when I'm taking a trade that's so successful already, such as the Solana short. I like to have a bit of an edge. I know that I'm not going to lose money here because I already made, you know, a 1, 2, 3 pretty much. So I'm taking an edge, and I like the market. I'm not just going to blindly set buy because, you know, I've got another one, so I want to go in the opposite direction. It's important to see what the risk to reward offers to us. And this is obviously the Bitcoin setup that we just talked about, that we're potentially going to go back to, I think this weekend. Today's Friday, so in the next couple of candles, potentially by Sunday likes to dump. Sunday Aussie time, I've noticed we like to dump a fair bit, so which is Saturday US. So I'm expecting something like this, up, down, potentially. We'll see how it plays out, but those are the areas that I've got marked up. So those are the main ones, I guess. So we covered XRP. I had a short, which I called in the chat, but I ended up taking the Solana instead of the XRP, but I stopped it right here, which is very close to where I eventually dropped lower. But I'm kind of sitting here. I don't like this flag. This kind of bullish, bearish, could be either or. I mean, we're taking liquidity on the downside. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what XRP could do, and I'm a little bit skeptical. As much as XRP is my second largest holding in my portfolio after BTC, I'm a little bit skeptical about this area of liquidity down here. If we do end up closing lower and taking it out, then can be quite ugly for XRP, because there's so much liquidity down here. So that's a bear case scenario, of course. If we do have the bull case scenario, we just bounce from here, clear this high. You know, you can see this high right here, and yeah, we just go up to $3.05. So nothing too crazy. But the maker setup is also another one that I just literally called out. It was the last trade of today, I think, or second last trade of today. XRP will retire us. I would like that, Swaggy. I would love that. I've got my son's savings in XRP. That's how much I believe in the project, just to give you an idea. So I think it's follow the money. That's all I say. Follow the money trail. Yeah. And I'm not far with you. It's my second biggest. My biggest obviously is Bitcoin, but my second biggest, very close, is XRP. So I took the maker trade because obviously we can see a bullish Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum, if you don't know, maker is kind of like the central bank of Ethereum, if you like. It's by TVL, or total value locked. Maker is one of the biggest projects for Ethereum. In fact, I think it's the biggest. But we can see this harmonic playing out quite nicely. And if you don't know what harmonic is, just ping us in the chat. Myself and SXE, we love harmonic. So I've run in the past whole courses on harmonics, and yeah, they're powerful tools. They're basically just all based on Fibonacci retracement levels, but there is definitely an harmonic here that potentially could play out. And I say potentially because we need to clear this high first. So once we clear this high, then the harmonic will be confirmed, and we can look for shorts retracement from that. But in the meantime, what I did do is, and you cannot see very well here because I'm on the Coinbase chart, which gaps heaps, but on the Bybit, actually that's where I took the trade. You can see we started breaking structure, meaning we started making higher highs on the lower time frame. So here we did a little retracement, and then we eventually broke structure. So I like that. It tells me that there's obviously a bullish sentiment happening, and I took the trade, a market entry with a stop loss basically just below this lows here. I didn't want to go as low as here because I didn't want to expose myself to unnecessary risk. If I'm wrong, I like to be wrong fairly quickly. We could potentially wake into this, you know, thing here, but maker does like to do those weeks. If that's the case, well, I'm only risking 1%. That's how much we like to risk personally per trade, and that's it. This is kind of a very quick rundown of what I did today with crypto. But let's have a look at Forex, because that's the other thing that I like to trade. Obviously, with Forex, it depends where you are in the world, right? Like I know I used to say you're from Switzerland, from Tyrol, which is obviously in Italy. There's people here from all around the world that are, you know, some in the States, some like myself are in Australia. So find a pair that works for you if you do trade Forex. And I do encourage everyone to have a bit of a double, even just with a paper trading account on TradingView, which you can easily do. Set it up, and it just exposes you to effectively a different way of trading other than crypto, right? Like it's sure it is volatile, but you start to see a lot more of manipulations. But I like to talk about Forex. I like to I guess explain how I trade smart money and why I think smart money is such an awesome concept and so easy to spot. So I personally trade a lot of AUD pairs. No surprise, I'm in Australia, right? So I kind of trade on the pair that is relevant to me. But AUD pairs are not necessarily the most volatile or the most exciting or even the ones that pay the most. But ultimately, you know, it's all about risk to reward. So if you can catch those trades, doesn't matter which pair you choose. Like it's just important to be on the chart and be aware. So this is a trade that I wanted to show, and this top 4 I'm currently in. So I've got 4 trades open, which is one more than I would like. Usually it's 3 trades that I like open, but this one just triggered, so fine. You can see here on daily, right? And I hope you can see we talked about it literally just now. We're talking about liquidity. Can you all see it? 1, 2, 3. What is that? How do we call that? Liquidity, right? So if I have a candle like this one, this massive daily candle that just literally just wicks it out and takes it all, well, I know that we are going to come back eventually somewhere here. So same principle applies. What do? From the daily, we scale down to the 4 hour, we see if there's anything there interesting, and there is. Like you can see, that was those 2 candles consecutive, right? One here and 2 here. Those 2 candles are of interest, so I usually tend to highlight one and see and I drag it all the way. But we didn't quite get there. But what we did do, however, on the 4 hour, I did notice that there was a similar pattern here with this other 4 hour candle that took out liquidity, and the market did eventually come and take that candle out, mitigated it. So I highlighted the point of return of that candle, and I brought it across all the way to our current time. And as soon as I saw that we took out that liquidity, which is this line right here, okay, that was my go signal to start looking for breakout structure, which is basically we stop making higher highs and we start making lower lows, right? That's a breakout structure. With that in mind, we scale down onto the 1 hour, and you can see I took this trade basically once we closed below this obviously structure. That was a high, low, high, breakout structure, boom, on the retest, which was I think it was a 618 retracement of this move. Took the entry, barely any I guess drawdown, tapped twice, and then obviously sitting in profit. So this could have been any crypto pair, right? This could have been XRP, this could have been Bitcoin, this could have been a meme coin. This is just how charts works. TA is so cool once you learn it. And I like all this. This is another one that this one I took today, AUD USD. Oh, this one I took the other day. On okay, this is a good one actually. So I like personally. I'm call it a reversal trader. So I like to catch the reversal of a move. Right. In this case, I did something that's not in my plan, because you can see, look how low this pair, which is AUD, our Australian dollar, is shocking at the moment. So I caught like basically at the bottom of a move, but I like doing that on lower time frames because of how the market structure looks like. So you can trade different styles depending on, I guess, what time frame you're on. And this one here for me was a nice clean 4 hour trade, which is, some people call it intraday. In my case, this is more than intraday because it's not 3 days, but it's about to hit TP, just missed it. But you can see same thing. So I took a 4 hour candle, didn't quite reach it. There was another big candle that got my interest. Oh, okay, almost reached it. So from that one candle, I started scaling down into lower time frame, and you can see this 2-hour candle got my attention right here. So it was this candle right here, last move up before a big sharp move down. So I highlighted it and I took 2 entries, one there and one there. So I had 2 trades. I have 2 trades going at the same time with 2 different entries. So if my risk is 1%, right, that I'm willing to risk, I took 2 0.5 trades percent. So this was 1 and this was 1, and I did that because if the market, I like to be exposed. I like the idea of it, so I like that entry. But if I could get a better entry, that's going to give me a better risk to reward, right? So, and that's what ended up happening. So it's a cool thing to know if you're trading anything really, charts. It could be anything. Start getting into the habit of finding better entries potentially, and just basically don't go, and excuse the French here, don't go balls into one entry necessarily, because you're not perfect and nobody is. And if anyone tells you, oh, I'm an entry god, well, they're lying to you, right? Like, the market does what the market wants to do. We're just there to try to catch the best possible risk to reward. And in this case, I thought this was a cool trade because we did obviously entry 1, little bit of a drawdown, and then entry 2 that was like barely, if I look at that, that was like, that's not drawdown. If I delete this for a second, that's not really any drawdown. It was like sniped, right? But yeah, something to talk about, I guess. Double entries and just calculating your risk. Know what you're willing to risk. I personally don't recommend anyone going over the 2% risk of your whole portfolio, right? Like, so if your portfolio is worth, you know, $1,000, the whole portfolio for trading, well, 2% of $1,000 is $20 per trade. So if you want to risk $20 per trade and you're going to do 2 entries, then you're risking 10 here and 10 here. It's pretty simple, right? Like, figure out what's your portfolio or guess trading portfolio value, and from there draw a conclusion. I personally had to do 1%. I am willing to risk a bit more on leverage stuff because I've got a bit more experience, but for leverage I hardly ever recommend going, you know, over 5 to 7 x on leverage. Anything over that, unless you know what you're doing, and you know, I've taken 100x trades, but unless you know what you're doing, it's very risky. You can get liquidated very quickly, so be mindful of that. So we talked a little bit about Forex, we talked a little bit about crypto, the main ones, and I guess a few that we've been looking at, or I've been looking at personally, and I've talked about it on a couple of days ago on our previous stream, was the AI agent. So this is a narrative that personally I think is gonna stick. It's not just a fad. I know that these are mostly I guess some of the meme coins and whatnot. Yep, definitely can look at gold for sure. But basically, yeah, just wanted to run down quickly this over this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 4 really. AIXBT, ZEREBRO, AI16, and virtuals are probably my main pick. Just a shame that today we missed some incredible entries by nothing. Like, all these were called today in the Discord. So I know that some people ended up taking them from a little bit earlier and they got in. So get good, because this was an awesome trade. We are in ZEREBRO, so that's fine. AI16 left without us. No, Binance didn't wait for us. She just went. And virtual, I'm kind of waiting for this 1 hour personally. See how we go. And then hype. I called today, obviously we caught the short, we caught TP1 and TP2, so again, awesome result there. And I said do not enter this trade, because that was just me being a bit of a degenerate and wanting to give it another go, and I ended up, full disclosure, ended up taking it and I closed it back at break even, so I'm actually out of this trade completely, and yeah, we'll take it there. So let's take a look at GOAT, or any other. In the meantime, while we do that, you can put it in the chat and we can have a look at whatever else you would like to have a look. Let's have a look. One with GOAT could be probably spot on Bybit. Let's have a look. ZEREBRO, yeah, we can take a look at ZEREBRO. I've got it right here. Alright, GOAT. Gosh, is this the right chart? Sure, there's one with more to it. Usually the one with trading view tend to give us more data. Let's have a look. Crypto.com maybe. Has it got more data or is that it? Yeah, it's a little bit better. Okay, delete that one. Is this the right one, Swaggy? Do you know if look? Let's have a quick look. It's an interest. Yeah, cool. Definitely interesting level here. You can see 786 at 86. It's a level that we like to trade at, right? So that's really good area of interest that it's currently in. It is trading into this nice daily candle right here, right? So that's good. Let's have a look on the lower time frame what is looking like. So this was a candle that potentially could have given us a nice reversal, and it did. So we had a nice big impulse up, but then we ended up closing and breaking structure. So for this particular pair, which I kind of know of, but I'm not expert on the on the meme coin GOAT, it's bearish currently. There's not much else to say until we start really closing above this kind of 58-59 cents. We start closing in that reversal, and then we start making some effectively some higher lows. That's what we need to look at, because this is not good. Obviously this could have been a nice reversal. So if from here did this, then sure, you know, we would have been safe because this was a low and this was a higher low, but it didn't. It broke structure, so it's continuing down currently. It's not looking, yeah, for our, let's have a look at the div. Yeah, okay. You got to be careful with divs as well, and that's why I'm not a huge fan of divs, right? Like what I've got here, just so that everyone is aware of what it is 3 indicators, but basically it's bullish divergence, RSI divergence, the stochastic RSI, and the trendy low, which is just a custom thing where basically you can see once it goes up and once it goes down. That's a green and red at the back, but you can, if you want, we'll just get rid of the stochastic, and we can see this is what we're talking about here. Is there a divergence? Okay, on the 4 hour, I mean, yeah, here, this is the div that we're talking about here. So the lower you go in time frames, the less effective the divergence is, and usually for divergence I like to go 24 hours to 4 hour max, nothing lower. Like 1 hour, it's not very effective. Minutes, forget about it. So on the daily you can see, yeah, it's respecting, I think that's a low just, so there could be a reversal incoming. We do have the starting of a divergence there, so you can see that was right there, right? We're going up and this is going down, so basically that's the divergence that we're talking about. Potentially, like I said, I'm not convinced for GOAT until we see some sort of strong close above here. So, and then we can re-enter on the retest, and then let it do its thing. That would be my recommendation here. Entering here, you could, but then what happens? And I ask you this, Swaggy, what happens if you do this? Right, like, and then all of a sudden you're down 100%, not 100%, but like 50%. Could reverse here. Just wait for structure. Like this was a solid example, right? So low, high. This could have been a break of structure, and then we could have entered some sort of retest, and the retest ended up just pushing lower. So just wait. That would be my recommendation for GOAT. Let's have a look. ZEREBRO, yes, we covered this pair today because we are currently in a trade on it. So I'm bullish on AI agents. I think eventually all AI agents are going to do a lot more than just the meme coins that we're doing, but that's a discussion for another day. So this is obviously one of the biggest ones. The market cap is currently, what is that, 323 mil. Taking our liquidity, you can see, and now we're kind of trading into this 786, potentially even further. I think if you, yeah, it's actually, it's gone lower into the well past the AA6, I think. Yeah, AA6 was here. So and that's why I took, part of the reason why I took this trade today was the level that it's at. So for something that obviously it's a narrative that we're looking at, and I'm bullish on the narrative. So if I see a chart this, I guess, retraced, the risk is there for me. The risk to reward is there. The one thing I do want to bring up to everyone's attention is potentially this liquidity right here, right? This big liquidity line. There is a possibility that market does flush out, potentially with a wick. It could be just as quick as a liquidation wick that just stops us out and then reverses up. So something to keep an eye on. I do have this area marked up. You can see right here there's a low and there's another low, and obviously that coincides with the diagonal liquidity. So keep an eye on it. We're in a long. I'm in a long personally on ZEREBRO. We started breaking 1 hour structure, so that was the moment that I decided to go in. So you can see low, lower low, higher low, sorry, higher high, lower high, higher high. So hard stop loss on ZEREBRO. I tried to keep it very tight, and the reason is good question though. The reason is I think I said it earlier, if I am gonna be wrong in something that could potentially, I already know could potentially go lower, I want to be wrong quick. I don't want to expose myself to unnecessary risk if the market does end up taking in these lows. I'd rather find a better entry once it does stop me out, and then potentially find a better risk to reward entry. So I basically put the stop loss just below the first low here, because I have, you know, my eyes on potentially better entries that could eventuate, and if they do, there's no point for me to stick into an overdrawn position for long if I know that there's better entries to be taken somewhere down here. So yeah, bullish on ZEREBRO, bullish on obviously the charts at the moment. I do we are in a long, so these are my take profits just above this high, and then eventually into this kind of 4-hour candle, which you can see by now if you know how to trade. This has got my attention, and we could end up, you know, do some sort of short temporarily, but in the long term we'll see. Let's have a look at Cookie, and I do we'll have a look at Pengu too. I was reading about something about Cookie today actually, which I'm gonna put on my little watch list. It was mentioned as one of the best data ingesting protocols for AI. So let's have a look. I don't know anything about this project. Like I said, oh my gosh, wow, okay, when did this happen? Today? Sheesh. Righto. Definitely not into this chart right now, I'll tell you that much. This is awesome for if you held. I mean, wow. I hope whoever is in Cookie, you know, if you enter here, oh man, you'd be laughing. But this was in December, so not that long ago. I mean, this was just after Christmas. That's crazy. What is that? Oh, I wish I knew about this one earlier. Almost a 7x. That's crazy. Okay, so let's have a look at Cookie from a TA perspective. I like to keep my thinking cap on, and you know, when we see a chart like this, obviously this is awesome, but peeps, things don't just go up. You know, things need to come down. So this is potentially where we can use something like an Elliott wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this could have been a 5. The 1, 2, 3 never eventuated, so we're resetting. This was at a macro level, at a micro level, and then if you go at a macro level, this could have been, what's that, a 1, 2, something like this, 3, 4, 5. So this could be a 5 wave Elliott wave, potentially ugly, but it makes sense because the 4 never touched the 1, which could send us, and it would make sense if you can see on lower time frame, into a corrective wave, something like A, B, C, to sweep out these lows, which is obviously where money is. So for Cookie, from a TA perspective, I will be a little bit wary for. Okay, so this 4-hour candle closes in 39 minutes, right? You can see it right here, 39 minutes. So if this 4-hour candle closes above here, awesome. That means that we're forming, you know, potentially bullish structure, and we'll just keep going up for a bit. If this 4-hour candle closes below here, and the here is, let's handy dandy magnet, 63,595, and I've got, as you can see, I've got everything. I don't like to. I like my OCD, so that's my structure right there. If that 4-hour candle starts closing below that, then I'll be start looking at retracements. And in an Elliott wave count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your ABC usually tends to go around the 4. Yeah, Binance just listed it. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I just saw the comment. Sorry, thanks, Rick. And with Binance, yeah, I mean, there is a say that says, you know, buy the MEXC, right? You buy that one, and then you sell the Binance. That's for perpetuals anyway. But yeah, look, I'm not fighting anyone's back because I want everyone to win. I don't like to fight, especially when I don't know much about the project. And like I said, I found out about this project today, and actually I'm interested because data and AI is what I do in real life. I'm a dev, so definitely keep an eye on it in the next 40 minutes. 1 hour, obviously a huge push. We took out this massive liquidity up here, and now we're just left with all this ton of eventually orders that need to be filled in. So keep an eye on it. If we do, like I said, bull case, we go we'll close higher, and then we look for a retracement, and then we go up, something like this. But bear case, yeah, we retrace potentially and take out some liquidity around the 40 cents. So yeah, just keep an eye on 40 minutes. That will give us a good indication. What else do we have? Pengu. Let's have a look at Pengu. 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 Pengu was a nice little airdrop, wasn't it? What do we have? Oh, I'm actually I mean, not actually. A lot of people are bullish on Pengu, so I'm not the only one. But I am bullish on Pengu overall. Obviously, for abstract coming up, that's massive. But also, Luca is a cracking founder. But straight away, I can see on a 4-hour that kind of area of liquidity, which if I go on a daily, what does it look like? It's this candle right here, but potentially this candle right here too. Yeah, I mean, we did fill nicely, so that was a nice fill, which is good. That's what we want to see, a quick tap and a reversal. So similar to what we just discussed for Cookie. Show me some strong closes above previous structure, which in the case of Pengu, we have to scale down into the 1 hour. So you can see on the 1 hour, structure was basically lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then we have made a higher low, right? Because this low, so this high is higher than this high. So now if we can make a higher low, so we're basically reversing the structure. Instead of doing lower lows, we start making higher lows, and then we make higher highs, then we can start looking at potentially a bullish structure starting to shift. But currently it is in on the higher time frame anyway, it is in a bullish structure anyway. So the higher time frame is bullish, because you can see high, 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 higher low and higher low. So it is bullish overall on the higher time frame. I like to scale down on the lower time frame because lower time frame often are indicative of what's about to happen on higher time frame, even though higher time frame always trump lower time frame. Okay, so very, very important. Higher time frames is what you want to basically take your trades off more than anything, because lower time frames, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 5 minutes, no good. Higher time frames are king. So this could have been a nice entry into that order block right there, which hit perfectly. I wasn't looking at the charts. I know that Greeny took some nice entries on Pengu. I personally sold my Pengu, I think, somewhere up here. But yeah, not hugely fussed what happens there, because I don't, unfortunately, own any Pengus or penguins, I should say. I'd like to. If anyone's got a spare penguin to sell, send it my way. I'll foster it for you. I'll turn it small into a biggie. Joking. But yeah, that's a good chart. I like Pengu. I like what they're doing, which is, by comparison, talking airdrops. We look at something else like Magic Eden, which I called. That looks like it's breaking the upward channel trend line. So you're talking about this trend line up here? Is that what you're talking about? I do personally don't go by trend lines that much, aside from I like to see them taken out. Yeah, so because you can see this was obviously a trend line, 1 touch, 2 touch arguably on some charts, 3 charts, and then people would have longed here. People on YouTube tell you, oh yeah, you see a trend line, you'd long from it. Well, guess what? No. You wait for it to be taken out, because there's money here sitting here on this trend line, and that's exactly what happened. So I guess the question that I have now, and then we can move on from Pengu, but the question that I have now for Pengu is this trend line retracement going to stick to this level 786 from low to high on the daily, tap the 886, close on the 786? Is it going to be reversing from here? And if it is, which I think it will personally, I don't think it's going to go lower, we can start seeing some sort of movement like that. On the bear case, if we are starting to see some sort of rejection, especially from here, and then we make another lower low, that's where things might get ugly, because you have this kind of liquidity down here that is waiting to be taken. But I don't think that's going to happen. But personally, I think obviously this is a higher low, so as soon as we clear this candle right here, we'll be good as gold. So we'll see. Oh, new, welcome. No problemo. Yeah, trend lines are YouTube, academy kind of stuff, and most people do or started anyway from there. But you got to think of trend line as money, and that's where the money is, and smart money likes to take out that liquidity. So what else? UFD. Let's do UFD, and then is that unicorn fund dust, isn't it? Yeah, UFD. I guess we'll do it on Tether. Polonics usually, because they're so degen, they tend to have the most data. I don't like it. Is there a better one? UFD. Yeah, that's better. UFD holding a 618. Expectation of spot listings are pretty high. Have some stables to ape if it breaks down, but I think it's a conviction play for the next weeks. Okay, Bill, this is your message. Support from big names, Yuga, etc. Now, UFD was a cool narrative. I'm not gonna lie. The wrong guy that launched it. Awesome dude. The question, I guess, that I have for meme coin. And I'm not a meme coins trader, so full disclaimer, I'm not a meme coin trader, on a daily, but is how much is the meme going to stick in this cycle? Is he getting tired? Is it like, what's next? What is the next catalyst for this meme? Is unicorn, you know, because they've done the buttholes already. Like, what's next? What's the next catalyst for this meme? Just unicorn keeps farting dust forever. It's, yeah, the meme, you know, it was cool, it was amazing, but this is kind of like the level that I like to enter potentially at. I do like my 786 much better than the 618 personally, so yeah, dissipation. Yeah, look, obviously you can see 786 was the big reversal. Now I guess the question is, are we going to, for unicorn fart dust, are we going to, and I'm about to do a dad joke, so apologies in advance, are we going to keep the 618, or are we going, or is the unicorn shit in the bed and shut and just go lower? Which one is it going to be? Yeah, I mean, just hold. You've got stables, that's the best position to be in, that's smart. There is, yeah, no shame. This is a little bit of a worry, that's the only thing. You know, this kind of liquidity here, and yes, you're right, it is currently fighting. So this is a battle, tug of war between the buyers and the sellers. So this is where this pair, this ticker is going to decide at this area at the 618. We can start to see some sort of, you know, bullish momentum ticking. It could be a reversal. Yes, it could be the case that we start making higher high from here. Keep your eye out. Be ready. You know, once we break this, like effectively, once we start, if we start closing below 10 cents, yeah, this is where you want to enter then next, between your 9 cents and your 8 cents even, and 7 cents. So keep an eye on lower time frames. That's my advice on that. Like, this was a rejection. You can see it. This was obviously the structure, and then instead of making a higher high, we actually rejected, wicked, took liquidity, but then moved down. So not entirely convinced. This is a bit of a battle. Yeah, it could go on for a little bit. So indecisive. This is an indecisive market, indecisive pair. So just keep an eye on it until we see some sort of stronger closure, either above or stronger closure up below. So that will give you a better indication of where we are for this pair. We've done UFD. What was the next one? We'll do one more after this one. XBT. So XBT, yeah, this is the trade that we called today in the chat. I do like XBT, obviously for a long. That's why I no dramas, Bill. Pleasure. This is the trade that we almost got today, and oh man, yeah, some sting. But you know, there's always the next one. And at the end of the day, what's important for us is to see that our TA works. So our analysis works. This was obviously a bullish pair. You can see like structure was constantly making new highs, and then this big push high, we want to wait for a retracement, right? So this is what we did. So if you take effectively from a daily perspective, from the last low to the highs, you can see we boxed in the 786 AA6, and on the 4 hour I saw this one candle, which was, I think we cover enough for today, for you guys and girls to know that this is what I like. 4 hour candle that takes out liquidity, sweeps below, and then has a big impulse on the other side. So boxed it up, that candle, brought it all the way to current price action, and you can see we just missed it. So this would have been an awesome trade. But well, where to from now, I guess, for XBT? Well, 26 minutes close to the 4 hour candle. We almost wicked into this level, but not quite, which tells me straight away that we kind of started to run out of gas. Potentially there was not enough buyers to take us past this high, which would have been definitely a catalyst, right? Like this is a massive catalyst right here. This high right here is, you know, should have been taken out. Like, there's no reason why it shouldn't have, aside from we ran out of steam right there. So we didn't quite make it. So I mean, this could be, and I'm talking like super degenerate now, but this could potentially be a very quick, not now because it's too late, but this would have been a good short to do on a lower time frame, very tight, 1 to 3, something like this, 15 minutes. Yeah, you can see we are rejecting, but risky anyway. But now we're going to lower time frames. Anyway, give it a 25 minutes from now. See where we close. We might push up again. 15 minutes is indecisive. You know, if this candle decides that it wants up, the 4-hour might end up printing a close above this high, which would confirm bullish. So, like with Cookie that we were talking earlier, just give it a second. See. I want to say a second, I mean 25 minutes, where this 4-hour brings us, because this was a great level for us to go up. So it's good to see you, mate. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. So thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. And it's always nice to see familiar faces. So good morning and good evening, or good afternoon, depends where you are. I think we've got a pretty much everything that was in the chats. So yeah, a little makeup session. We talk some Forex. We talk some of the AI agents. I will leave you with one little nugget of to keep an eye out. So I always, if you know me by now, don't tune out of the chats until the recording is finished, because there's always a little bonus at the end. Okay, so I keep it for the end for a reason, because if you have patience, you get rewarded. And that's how trading works. So if you tune out too quick, stay until the end. So quantum resistant ledger. This is the one that we talked about it for a little while now. Obviously, you can see this massive push up. This was when Google, I think it was Google, announced their quantum computing chip. Now we have NVIDIA obviously talking about some crazy stuff, and we finally, and I'm talking finally because I've had this area marked up since up here. So since mid-December, we talked about we will wait for this area. Well, we are here now. So this is my DCA area. I am going to start scaling into quantum computing, QRL, quantum resistant ledger, here at this level. So between 50 cents and, to be honest, even all the way down to 32 cents, I will scale on the way down. So quantum computing, it's probably something that we will hear in the next few years. Spot, yes. This is not like, it's so tiny, this project. It's not even on any CoinGecko. I don't even think it's on any major, to be honest, but that's how early it is. I like to be early in some of these plays. Tokenomics are good, 105 million. Circulating supply is half of that. Trading volume is bugger all, and there's not a lot. $40 million for a quantum resistant ledger. Probably the most solidified on crypto quantum resistant ledger blockchain. 40 mils, like it's just silly. So we're going to markets. We see who has it. Yeah, AIXBT has it on spot, which is awesome. And then 3 others. So they are on. It's a great question. I think this is their own blockchain, so that's why it's quantum computing. Yeah, so some of these things we are early, but you can see they got bitcointalk.org there. So your best bet for something this small is to literally just buy. And I'm about to say something that I don't like to say, but for this project it's okay, and not this project specifically, but something so early that Ledger doesn't have it, and things like that. MetaMask doesn't have it, so I'm happy to just hold it on an exchange for now, until there's ways that I can self-custody for it. So it's not a huge bag. I'm probably just gonna grab 1% of my portfolio, not even like zero. To be honest, 0.05, like 0.5% will be already a big percentage for something like this. So tiny amount of my portfolio, but I just like to have some exposure into quantum computing, because this move would have been a nice. No, look at that. That's 4x, 5x. Yeah, they've got their own, like, it's basically just their own chain. Like, if you literally just go into the quantum resistant ledger block, it's a blockchain. So yeah, that would be it for tonight. Tech question: do you trade in TradingView with connected MEXC or always through MEXC? I want to consolidate all into one platform, ideally. No, I don't trade necessarily with MEXC. Can you trade TradingView with MEXC? That would be cool. I do trade with MEXC with my Forex stuff. So I've got Forex account that are currently linked to my TradingView. So basically, I can just do this. I just type in, I just do trade, and I can just create a new order. I've got my brokers that are linked into it. But yeah, I don't see MEXC there, do I? Unless you meaning like you can trade from MEXC. Is that what you mean? If I go explore brokers, ChatGPT say you can connect. I know that you can connect because but on the MEXC website you can have TradingView alerts. So maybe that's what ChatGPT is saying you can do. I haven't seen MEXC as part of the brokers here, and we can do it together. But yeah, I don't see any crypto brokers here really. Like all these are stocks and Forex brokers. Yeah, I think what ChatGPT is telling you is you can, and even with Bybit, you can set up alerts. So the alerts that you put on your chart of MEXC will trigger on TradingView, which is cool because it's cool to have alerts. But I think that's what they mean. So yeah, cool. Any other questions, or we are good? Nice little session. We tried to keep it a little bit comprehensive, but looks like we're good. So with that said, team, I'm going to finish my grape juice and I'll see you guys another time. Thanks for tuning in. Much love.